Juneteenth, and the celebration continues. I want to share with all of you, just out of the reservoir of my own thinking, out of the wellstream of my own thoughts, and would like just a few moments of your time, as I would presume you're winding down for the day. Would you please honor me by tagging, texting, and telling somebody to jump on? I want to give reflections on Juneteenth 2020 before the day comes to an end. I've been sharing and conversing all day long, and I couldn't think of a better group to close out Juneteenth with than with you. And so we'll begin in just 1 minute. Ask that you'll please, 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 please tag, text, and tell somebody. Let me know very quickly where you're celebrating Juneteenth from, and not only where you're celebrating from. You still have 3 hours, if you've not done so already, to jump online and support a Black business. If you haven't spent any money today with a Black business, let's fix that right now. Those of you who are streaming, those of you who are watching, those of you who are viewing, and you know of a reputable Black business that you can endorse, stand behind, and would encourage other people to support, write the name of that business right there, tag them, what is their social media handle, how it is that we can get in touch with them, whether you buy them bundles of hair, whether you need a tax accountant, whether you need a lawyer, whether you need a florist, whether you need an event planner. Let's circulate Black dollars on Juneteenth. So hurry up, let's do it as quickly as we possibly can. I'm going to start in just 60 seconds. I'm giving you just a moment to collect yourself, to gather your group, and to make it noised abroad that the Juneteenth reflection is about to begin right now. Dr. Bryant and the New Birth family. I want you to be a part of it, and I don't want you to miss it. So let's start in just 1 minute. I see you all are jumping on in droves. I mean, you all are here, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful to have all of you with us from Decatur, Georgia. I see you. You all are shouting out the adult residential facility, SACE Products, Birmingham, Alabama, is in the house. I'm grateful. Brandology Graphic Designs. I like the name of that. Brandology Graphic Designs, McDonough, Georgia. Thank you so much. Ebony Brown Gordon Online Clothing Business, Columbia, South Carolina. We're appreciative, Paula, you have shared the stream. Let's roll and let's rock. All right, I began my day with Ebony magazine celebrating 75 years of being the print oracle for the African American community. I began Juneteenth on their platform, sharing with some 100,000 people, those of you who were with us this morning at 9 a.m. I'm grateful. And I've been sticking and moving all day, closed out my day this evening, just an hour ago, with MSNBC.com and Vice Presidential candidate Joe Biden. And I wanted to pause between both of those media mogul empires just to say an intimate word to my community, my family, my circle, my safe space. I have been stuttering the same sentiment literally all day. And the sentiment was simply this, that the people in Texas celebrated Juneteenth because they got the word of emancipation last, almost 3 years late. And they didn't bemoan or grovel or lament that they got the message late. They were just euphoric in enthusiasm that they finally got it. That's a word for somebody. Whenever you get the word you need, it's right on time. It doesn't matter how many people got it before you, how many got their release before you, got their raise, got their promotion, got their green light. When you get it, it is your right time. Texas is the furthest region outside of the grasp of slavery. So they finally got it as an indication that the Civil War had come to a conclusion. Isn't it ironic that we went from the Civil War to the fight for civil rights? And all the more jaw-dropping that we have to fight for civil rights after the Civil War, and the treatment towards African Americans has been anything but civilized. Unleashed barking dogs, crosses burning outside of our churches, last hired, first fired, having to count how many bubbles were in a bar of soap just to be in order to vote, to find it illegal to be caught with a pencil or a ruler. It was unconscionable below the Mason-Dixon line to be able to read or to be able to write, to find ourselves not being able to drink from water fountains, go into restrooms or restaurants. It's uncivilized. We were fighting for civil rights. Our brothers and sisters in Texas began to celebrate June 19th, 1865. And here we are in 2020. And look how far from freedom we are, how much further to freedom we have to go. That in the backdrop of Juneteenth, we're having to march because Black men are yelping and gasping, declaring under the bottom of a boot, I can't breathe. How far from freedom when it is in Louisville, Kentucky. Brianna can find herself being killed as a first-line responder, an EMT worker, shot up while we were in the middle of posting and in Zoom conversations. The officer who emitted the deadly blow is fired, but not arrested. How far do we have to go? That in 2020, it just dawned on the corporations that Aunt Jemima is offensive. And Uncle Ben's rice is far beyond its time. Freedom still is late getting to America. That we even still have to have arguments, discussions, dialogues, and debates as to why the Confederate flag needs to be torn down, while Confederate soldiers still have their names on U.S. military bases. And let me put as an aside that the Confederates are the group that lost, and yet they're still celebrated. After the Super Bowl, after the NBA Finals, the losing team doesn't get a parade, doesn't get a trip to the White House. It's the winning one. So for us to honor that is an insult to dignity. It is amazing that the Civil War was less time than you spent in high school. It's three to 4 years. And yet those in the South act as if it is a way of life and a culture when it was just 9th through 12th grade. And we still find ourselves as a yet to be united States of America. Tomorrow, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, in the middle of COVID-19, has a rally to pull on adulation for himself, typifying what it means to be an egomaniac, even if it means to put people's lives and health at risk. And he puts out a tweet today saying, outside of what is happening in Minnesota or Seattle or even in Atlanta, those who go against him, even though it is their constitutional right, will not be met with graciousness. And yet, we're clamoring for freedom. In just about 3 hours on the calendar, June 19th will be finished. We will eavesdrop into June 20th. And the question is, does that mean Juneteenth is over at midnight? The celebration of freedom is understanding that we safeguard it. You've been to a party before. You don't cut the cake till the honoree is there, till you blow out all of the candles. You don't yell surprise until the focused individual, the celebrant, has come into the room, even while the lights are out. The honoree for the celebration for freedom is, in fact, this next generation. We owe it to them to keep this party going. And we keep the party going by registering to vote. We keep the party going by filling out our census. We keep the party going by celebrating our Blackness, not just as a fad, a trend, or a hashtag, but a reality of our melanin. Keep the party going by educating the generation that comes behind us about the God of our weary years, the God of our silent tears, the one who has brought us thus far along the way. We keep the party going by understanding that Frederick Douglass was right. I got more prayers answered when I got off my knees, that our actions speak louder than our words. What will our conviction of consciousness look like on June 29th, on July 9th, and more importantly, on November 3rd? We've got to keep the momentum going, because as I am prone to say, it is not a moment, it is a movement. The words of that great writer, we've got miles to go before we sleep. Freedom ain't free. Oh, freedom over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave. I'll go home to my Lord and I'll be free. I'm celebrating because I'm grateful for the strides that we have made, but I am ever aware about the pace that we've got to keep up, got to keep our foot on the gas so that we can, in the words of the nation's oldest civil rights organization, the NAACP, the National Advancement for the Association of Colored People, forward ever, backwards never. Ask yourself, how are you going to be an agent of change, a catalyst to shift a demented, systemic racist structure? What are you going to do to tear down this myth that the only way that you can be successful in this nation is to dribble a basketball, throw a football, sing, rap, dance, or entertain? This is the hour for thinkers, for innovators, for curators of culture. You have a blank canvas in front of you, and we are moving from Juneteenth to the nth degree. We got to keep moving. We got to keep protesting, got to keep marching, got to keep worshiping. We got to keep praying, and we've got to keep investing. Joe Biden, presidential aspirant, I was just on not an hour ago, quoted scripture from his own uprearing in Catholicism, that faith without works is dead. Everybody's been putting fists up. Everybody's been plastering on their pages tokens, momentums, reflections about Black pride, Black love, Black power. Let's not just be hearers of it. Let's be doers also. I'm excited. I'm excited because I believe that God is getting ready to use us in a monumental way as the most strategic generation in the history of diasporic people who found themselves on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. Tomorrow, I want to make sure, as being a standard bearer in the body of Christ, tomorrow at New Birth Missionary Baptist Church in Stonecrest, Georgia, I understand that we're not free because there's so many who are dealing with food insecurity. And so tomorrow morning from 10 until 12, I have groceries already packed up, stocked up for 8,000 people. You heard me correctly. Your Wi-Fi did not fail. We've got grocery bags for 8,000 people. If you know of anybody that can get to New Birth tomorrow in Stonecrest, Georgia, by helicopter, by plane, by scooter, by motorcycle, by skateboard, we're going to stock them and their families up so that they might be able to eat. We're not free when there are 1 million people who are living in their cars. We're not free when there are children who are scratching and surviving just to get a morsel of bread and a corn of water. Tomorrow, we push them closer away from food insecurity by giving them the freedom of a basic Maslow need, which is to be able to eat. Freedom for our Black males. I posted on yesterday. If you did not see it, please, immediately after this, go to my page where I found lost footage of Rashawn Brooks, where he talks about his life as a returning citizen, the weight, the cross, and the burden of having to live your life as a Black man in America. You know by now that it wasn't a week ago that he fell asleep in his car. As a consequence, he was tased and ultimately was murdered in front of 24 witnesses holding cell phones. Do you know the strain, the weight, the depth, the trauma, the scars that Black men are contending with living in America? In some way, New Birth just wants to take a moment to take that burden, to ease that weight, to ease that strife. We've gone here, there's from 500 men I was going to feed tomorrow steak dinners. You're not going to believe it. Motorcycle clubs from around Georgia said they're pulling up on us. Fraternities, Masonic lodges, community groups, basketball teams said, I can't believe you're doing this. I have upgraded from 500 steaks to 1,000 steaks. 1,000. I need you to help us to do it. As you know, 2 days ago, I was on with you and we were at 500. We have doubled that number. We've doubled that number. To whom much is given, much is required. These brothers are not having to pay anything. All they're doing is showing up. I need you to do me a favor, please. I want you to tag a brother. Let him know at New Birth beginning at 12 o'clock. Beginning at 12 o'clock, I have free steak dinners prepared. They're going to pull up on us because of COVID restrictions. Pull up and our volunteers are just going to place it in the car. Sisters, whatever it is that you fathom a steak dinner cost, I want you to sponsor one of these brothers, one of these soldiers, one of these returning citizens, one of these honorable veterans, one of these brothers who have been furloughed, one of these Black men who were told that they were not essential. I want you to sponsor them on tomorrow. I've already done it, but I want you to sponsor them. Right below me is the pin as to how it is that you can do it. I am not going to limit you with an amount. Some of you want to give 42, some of you want to give 100, whatever that is. I'll yield that to your own possibility, whatever it is that you can reach, but ask that you would do that. We have secured partnerships with 5 barbershops, with 5 barbershops. We want to offer brothers across DeKalb County free haircuts on tomorrow. The only thing that is necessary is that you have to have a reservation. If you'll go to New Birth's page, go to our social media pages, there you will be met with a flyer of the 5 different barbershops. Most of them, I would presume, are closed now, but you can try it, or again, try in the morning. You have to have an appointment. You have to have an appointment. I only have 35 appointments left between those 5. Between those 5 barbershops, I only have 35 appointments left. I so ask that you will please take full advantage of it. I'm grateful unto God. The Lord has given me an amazing word for fathers, and all the more with specificity to Black fathers. So Sunday, I am doing a word that God has given me for Black men that I want you to hear. It begins at 9:30. It is almost but between an unofficial eulogy of Rashawn Brooks. That the actual eulogy is Tuesday at Ebenezer, the church of Dr. King, pastored now by Dr. Raphael Warnock. But I want to give a word to Black men Sunday. I want your sons, your husbands, your brother, your nephew, your boyfriend, your baby father. I want them all in front of that screen Sunday at 9:30. I really can't even sleep with the heaviness of what it is that I am carrying, that I have got to get over to our Black men. It's going to make a difference, and it's going to make an impact. Tomorrow, while it is that we're giving out food to 8,000 haircuts in 5 different barbershops, feeding 1,000 men. I'm telling you, I may cry out there to see 1,000 men pull up on tomorrow. While we're doing that, our youth department is doing an online coding class for girls. That class is already filled to capacity. Please don't call us. They've already pre-registered. We're going to get our young ladies in the game. What I want to say to you is in July, remember Juneteenth. In August, remember Juneteenth. When January comes, remember Juneteenth. November 3rd on Election Day, remember Juneteenth. We got to keep marching, keep protesting, keep praying, keep sacrificing, keep supporting until all of us are free. None of us are free. It's not too late, but it is not going to take you 3 years to get freedom from depression, from anxiety, from worry, from debt, or from loneliness. It's coming. It took them in 1865 3 years to get it. I'm believing for you that God is going to do it in the next 3 weeks. Did you hear what I just said? I'm believing you are going to be free from whatever has had you in bondage, whatever has made you stagnant, whatever has made you reticent about pursuing what God has already shown you. That in the next 3 weeks, you're going to get free from it. I believe that with everything that's in me. I want you right where it is that you are on your screen. I want you to make a declaration to the universe and to yourself. I'm going to be free of it. Come on, say it. Even with tears coming down your face, I'm going to be free of it. I'm going to be free from this soul tie. I'm going to be free from being haunted by the mistakes of my past. I'm going to be free from the false notion that I don't deserve love or to be loved. I'm going to be free from whatever it is that family members had held over my head. I'm going to be free from whatever criminal activity has prevented me from pursuing my passion and my occupation. I'm going to be free from every economic restraint that so easily besets my psyche and my self-esteem. I'm going to be free from the aspersions that other people have put on my character. I'm going to be free of it. Come on, I want you to type that on the screen. I'm going to be free of it. Be free of this cycle that I keep putting myself in. I am going to be free of it. I want you to please type that. Those of you, your faith connects with my faith. And you believe with every fiber of your being that you're going to be free of it. You are not going to be bullied, not going to be stalked. You're not going to be manipulated. You're not going to be taken advantage of. You are not going to be a hostage to family members. You are not going to be battered by ingrates. You're going to be free of it. Tomorrow night is going to be amazing. Going into Father's Day. I got a double blessing for you. Tomorrow at 6:30, I am doing an intimate conversation with my own biological father, Bishop John Richard Bryant. We're doing a dialogue called I Got Daddy Issues. I got daddy issues. I want you in this conversation. If your father's gone on to be with the Lord, I need you to be in this tomorrow. Your relationship with your dad has been estranged. I want you to be here tomorrow. You have no relationship with your father. I want you to be here on tomorrow. Your father trying to figure out how to do it when you never had a role model or an example. I need you here tomorrow. 6:30. Bishop John Bryant and I talking about I have daddy issues. Then at 7:30, you're not going to want to miss this. We're doing Throwback Saturdays. My father and I, 20 years ago, I was just starting in ministry. 20 years ago, my dad and I did a dual sermon together. And we're going to broadcast that sermon. You ain't going to recognize me. I had a little afro back then. But we preached it at my home church, Bethel AME. And for the very first time, I'm going to be broadcasting that sermon. So I want you to be a part of it. God's going to bless you. Come on, say it again before I leave you. I am going to be free of it. Come on. I am going to be free of it. Come on, say it like you believe. You're almost convinced yourself. I am going to be free of it. Let your actions speak louder than your words. Sow a seed right now. Come on, give a gift right now. Sponsor one of our brothers right now. I'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. If you're in need of groceries, brothers, pull up on your pastor tomorrow at 12 o'clock. And then tomorrow evening at 6:30, Bishop Bryant and I have a conversation, and you get to lean in and hear all of it. Have a great night. I'm excited to hear your testimonies that within the next 3 weeks, you're going to be free of it.